And 2022 is going to be much better, where we've got some amazing things happening in 2022.
Welcome to the Positive Property Show. Our mission is to empower 10,000 people to create financial freedom through property using the Markowski method. Join us.
We're going to talk about Christmas because at the end of the year, 2021's been one of those crazy years. And if you made it this far, well done. We're here. We've made it. We've almost made it to 2022. And who would have predicted 2021 would have been such a roller coaster? You know, quite a bit of a roller coaster. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking about what's going to be happening in 2022. You know, a lot of people are surprised with what happened with the pandemic in 2021. And basically, you know, the property market has boomed. It's gone like crazy. And a lot of people didn't predict that, but it has. And what you want to do is, a lot of people feel like they've missed out on the boom. You know, a lot of people are getting FOMO. FOMO as in fear of missing out. Hello and Merry Christmas, thank you. And look, a lot of people got FOMO and fear they're missing out. And you know what? You haven't missed out at all. The fact of it is, there's two types of way investing in property. And the one way is through speculation. And speculation is when, you know, you try to time the market, you try to get your timing right, you try to get in and then get out. And, you know, speculation doesn't work. Speculation is one of those things where it's a bit like gambling. And the second way of doing things is actually looking at the fundamentals. And when it's fundamental investing, that's the way to invest in property. And it's a lot less scary because with fundamentals, you're looking at the long term. Now, this is a fact. Basically in the world when it comes to investing, if you look over a 10-year stretch, if someone invests for about 1 year, they've got a 90% chance of failing. And that percent of failing goes down each year until you get to 10, where you've got a 99% chance of success. It's all about the long term and thinking long term and sticking through it, because property prices average 7% per year, but it's a matter of those averages accumulating. So don't get too excited when the property market's too high, or if it goes down or not. What I get excited about more is the long-term potential. I'm going to send Belinda a link to this. There we go. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now,
hello,
look,
freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters, welcome. Now, look, we had a few hiccups, a few glitches, and I apologise about that. But
Correct.
Here we are. Now, we're doing a bit of competition. So, guys, if you are at home and you're wearing anything Christmassy, if you're not, go get something. Get something Christmassy, and also get yourself a drink.
I'm not Christmassy enough.
And get yourself a drink, because I'm going to be giving away some prizes. And please, in the comments, get a photo, take a photo of yourself in your Christmas gear of your drink, and we're going to be picking some winners. I'm going to be giving away some copies of my book. I'm going to be giving away some Google Chromes, Pendo Pad, the whole lot. So guys, please post the chat so we can do that.
Yep.
Now, we're going to do a bit of recap. But what I want to do before we do this recap is I want to share a video with people. So I'm going to just open Vimeo because I've got a new.
What video are you showing, Georgie?
Okay, I've got a new promo video for Robert Kiyosaki.
Love it. What a great place to showcase. Love it.
Yes, and no one's ever seen this video.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki here, best known for this book here, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I'm very happy to be doing the Master of Wealth Property Summit with my friend George Markowski. He and I met about 3 years ago, and the thing I'm ecstatic about George, he is a hardcore teacher. He really wants you to learn. So welcome to the Master of Wealth Property Summit.
Real estate and wealth generally doesn't happen by accident. It is engineered. And when you understand to engineer wealth, That's where you can really start to bring things forward.
So please remember this, especially property in Aussie. You've got to hang out with guys like George who know the numbers. Get the real numbers, the facts, because I can talk to you about cash flow and all those things. George is better at that than me.
What have you got planned for Christmas, Belinda? Tell me.
Look, I'm hoping to catch up with some amazing people. I'm looking forward. My partner is doing the Sydney to Hobart, so unfortunately we can't have Christmas because he needs to be on a boat ready to sail out of Sydney and cross the Bass Strait towards Hobart for the amazing race.
Now that's hardcore. I mean, doing that.
It's
like,
hardcore.
wow.
It really is. I mean, you're talking the 3 most dangerous channels in the world, and one of them is Bass Strait in Australia. So it's pretty crazy stuff. So I know one year, I think it was 89, they lost 10 people. So
Look, hitting 10 people.
10 people, yep. So
Dangerous.
let's just hope the weather is great. They've heard that the forecast is pretty good. There will be a bit of a hairy moment for them, but hopefully that doesn't last too long. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to Hobart and be there at the finishing line, which will be exciting. Let's just hope he gets there.
Very exciting. I hope he does. I wish him a safe journey and hope he does get there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's my Christmas.
Exactly. So that big giveaway that I was doing, so you can't do photos in the comments anymore.
Really?
Blocked every step of the way. Oh,
we're learning something new in Facebook. Just says we need to master Restream, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Definitely it does. And, the fact of it is sometimes you can have technical glitches. And you know what? Considering that we made it all the way through 2021 without one technical glitch, we've been doing lives now probably 2 years straight, every Thursday night.
Every Wednesday and Thursday night it used to be Wednesday, now
Thursday. And we've been doing it like a religion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I made a promise to everyone that I was going to go live every week, me or the group or the team, and we have kept that promise. And even if we have glitches, be patient because we're going to come back on because we aren't going to. We really think that one of the most important things we can do is interact with our members, with our community of freedom fighters, because this is bigger than just us, bigger than just you and I, Belinda.
No,
This
of course.
is a movement. It's a community. It's a movement of freedom fighters, people that are willing to fight for freedom, for themselves. You guys watching, you're fighting for freedom, not just for yourself, but to give your family a better life. And I really believe that, a property portfolio, the perfect property portfolio is really going to determine the life you have, the family you have, the Christmases you have, the holidays you have, the house you have, everything in your future.
It's all about choice, isn't it? It's making the choices that you want.
Exactly. And you know what? It's all a matter of making the sacrifices. See, the deal is, looks like I'm half naked on there, but I'm not. I've got a t-shirt on.
Yeah, okay. Good to know. Good to know. It's not the X-rated Santa. Oh, bad Santa.
Not bad Santa.
Not bad Santa.
You're hilarious. So basically, I think the deal is that too many people think they can get ahead without sacrifice, right? And our community is not about that. And seriously, if you think you can get ahead without doing any hard work, either just on your inner self or outer self, well, let me just give you the bad news. You're going to have to do it because you got to get out of your comfort zone if you want to succeed, right? And what I mean by getting a comfort zone, you got to get uncomfortable. So if you haven't invested in property yet, investing in property is not going to be comfortable. No. But hey, this is the deal. You got two choices. Don't do what's uncomfortable and end up like 98% of Australians completely broke at the age 65. Or do something uncomfortable in your life. Get comfortable investing in property and live an amazing life and be the top 1% of Australians.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right. No, that's exactly what it's all about. Because anything really good is just outside your comfort zone. And New Year's is coming up, and next week I'm going to be doing a special on goal setting.
Yay!
And teach people how to set goals and do it, because goal setting is so important, very important. And people have got New Year resolutions, but I prefer to have long-term goals that I do every year. And I'm going to be sharing some of my secret goals with everyone next week.
Yay! That'd be lovely.
Yeah, look, I think the best way to learn is actually see what someone's really doing, right? I could just say, do this or do that, but I'll show you, because when it comes to goal setting, I'm damn good. You know what I mean?
You've been doing
one of my goals a long time ago, and I thought, what I'd like to do is make $1 million a year without getting out of bed. That was one of my goals. And when I wrote it down, it seemed silly. You know what I mean? Really seemed crazy. But the point is, with goals, they don't need to be realistic. Maybe slightly, but they need to be really, you've got to get a magic wand and go, okay, what do I really want? What's going to get me up in the morning? If you write a goal and it's not going to get you up early, it's not going to make you work hard, it's not going to get you out of your comfort zone, that's a complete waste of time, right? So I wrote a goal that was massive. And I said, look, I'd love to be able to not get out of bed and make $1 million in 1 year. And it happened. It happened. I made over $1 million last year out of property without getting out of bed. My property made me more money than what I did. George, can you give us an insight of how the new variant Omicron might impact the property market in 2022?
Good question.
Dave, very good question. Look, the deal is, so far, COVID has been made property better. And the reason being, and I'm going to explain this during my one-day workshop because it's complicated, but it's all about, you've got to look at the GDP, you've got to look at trade balance, you've got to look at money printing, quantitative easing. Is that income or asset growth? Peter Atkins, good questions, income or asset growth. That was a bit of both, okay? And I used 1 million. It was more than $1 million, but I say 1 million because it sounds better. I actually did 2 million, but 2 million sounds a bit high. So wasn't all income, no. But most of it was income. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was excellent. So Omicron, a lot of people are talking about Omicron variant. And
can I tell you, just recently they were in the news saying that it's actually not as bad as COVID. It's just
not at all. And look, this is the reason. What's happened is all the vaccines are targeting the spike protein. Because of that, the vaccine is actually, the spike protein is the dangerous part of the vaccine, of the, the COVID. And because the vaccines are blocking at the spike, the new variants are actually got a weakened spike. So they're not as dangerous. So with what's happening with the vaccines, it's actually weakening the COVID. And Bill Gates, pretty smart man, he reckons 2022 will be out of COVID.
Okay. Well, that's coming from Bill. That's coming from Bill himself.
Yep. Yeah, that's what he reckons. And you look at the Spanish flu. I always look at the past. And in my one-day workshop, I'm going to be explaining what happened during the Spanish flu. So, Dave, good question, but put it this way. The Spanish flu destroyed the economy of the world. And we had the Great Recession. We haven't had that yet. And it may happen. But what happened after the Great Recession? We had this thing called the Roaring '20s, the biggest economic spike in history. And we're recreating it right now. So the 1920s was, if you had a time machine and you wanted to go back and become a millionaire, you'd go in just after the Spanish flu. If you wanted to be a property millionaire, business millionaire in full stop. Now, 2022 is just after the COVID pandemic. So what do you think is going to happen to the right people? Anyone got an answer there? They're going to become millionaires.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's the thing, you know what I mean? So really, it's going to be, no one would have believed, right, this boom was coming with such awesome magnitude that it would quickly make millionaires of a handful of smart investors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, a lot of the retail investors, they business themselves with housing, apartments and units that will never turn a profit, right? But they observed and studied exactly what you're about to hear. See, what happened was people like me and Robert Kiyosaki, we created plans to really take over and do things differently. And I've been talking to Robert Kiyosaki on the phone, probably every week or two lately. We're sort of part of a similar group. We've been having a chat, right? And when COVID first started, we had so many members say, "Oh, I'm not going to buy now. COVID, it's not going to work." And I said, guys, don't be scared, because you can't time the market. Timing the market is not going to work. It's called time in the market. 2 words, separate words. And the longer you're in the market, the more money you're going to make. And you need to be in the market for 7, 10, 12 years to double your money. And it doesn't matter when you buy. If you buy at a downswing, you'll be doubled in 12 years. You buy another time, 10 years or 7 years, doesn't matter. But the key is the people that don't have property aren't making money out of property. And the people that are always sitting there looking for the perfect time, they're shitting themselves and they're not buying anything. They're sitting on the sidelines. They're not buying. I know people that have been talking about buying property for 10 years and they go, "Oh, it's not quite right now, not quite right." Look, it's never perfect. And even during COVID, it wasn't perfect, but I kept buying. I was telling people to buy. And those people made money. We had a client recently from Dubai, actually. They don't even live in the country. They made $90,000 plus out of their first property 3 months ago, and they were getting their second property now. They don't even live in the country.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I know.
But that comes down to they've got a good coach and they've got a good company looking after them over here in Australia.
Well, the deal is property is very complicated for most people.
Well, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Exactly. And the reason it's complicated is people don't understand the fundamentals.
And you need to know the basic fundamentals.
That's right, because if you understand the fundamentals, it's actually simple. That's the difference, right? And you shouldn't be buying property if it's complicated for you, right? You should be waiting and learning and educating yourself. Because, a lot of people, they think that, a lot of people say, "George, what's the best investment?" And a lot of people think that I'd say property, and I don't. I don't think it's the best investment at all, right? You know what the best investment is? Number 1, your health. Because if you're not healthy and you're dead, what's the point of having property?
What's the point of anything?
And number 2, number 1's your health, because forget that. Number 2 investment is invest in yourself. Invest in mentors, invest in coaches, invest in education. The wealthy investors, the wealthy people, what they do is they invest in themselves. They invest in gym membership, healthy food, organic food, mentors, and everything else like that. They don't do anything themselves. You know who does things themselves? The struggling investors, the poor investors try to do it themselves.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
They try to work out themselves. They try to run their own business without a coach. They try to buy property without help. And that's because they've got a big ego and they don't want to spend the money. But if you don't spend the money to get the right help, what's going to happen? If you got a car and you just fix it in your back shed instead of taking it for a proper service, do you really think it's going to last that long? Especially the new ones these days.
Imagine trying to be your own doctor, do your own heart surgery. Hello.
Your own appendix. The guy that did his own appendix, actually.
I remember. Guy did his own.
Yes, and you know what? He did a good job, but it was very hard for him to do. But he was a doctor, and he was actually in Antarctica, and he had no choice because there was no other doctor there. And he was going to die if he didn't do it. But it would have been very painful because he couldn't knock himself out because he had to do the operation.
Oh, that's
Dr.
madness.
Google, yes.
Madness.
I know, but hey, better than dying, I suppose.
Do whatever it takes. Rapid responsibility, do whatever it takes. One of our values.
So guys, one thing I'm doing, we're doing a one-day workshop the 22nd of January, right? And I'm not sure about the tickets yet, but I think we're going to be selling tickets for, $900 or something like that. I'm going to be giving away some free tickets in the Australian Property Chat. So it's a one-day seminar, one-day workshop, master workshop. It's called the Masters of Property. It's going to be me and Robert Kiyosaki presenting all day in the intimate group. Who wants to come along? If you guys want to join, let me know. Type in the chat. But also, if you want a pre-registration, a free ticket, type in hashtag free ticket. And one of our team will reach out to you.
Now, we know we're not on all different streams tonight. So
no, we're not. We're not all. We're in one stream.
We're in one stream. So
no, yes, please. You need to write hashtag free ticket, but that's okay. Close enough.
Absolutely.
It's going to be good. There you go, free ticket. Yes. And what I'll do is I'll get my team to reach out, and you can guys get a pre-registration because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Robert Kiyosaki. Let me tell you about Robert Kiyosaki. I originally bought his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, back in the late 90s. And after I read it, it motivated me to get my first house. And the cash flow quadrant was a game changer for me. When he explained the difference between the struggling investors and the wealthy investors, the rich dad and the poor dad, it was amazing. And it was fantastic. And what happened was it really changed my life. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'd love to meet him one day. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I met him at an event in Melbourne. And we got talking, and because I know a lot about property, we got on really well, and I kept in touch with him over the years. And during COVID, because we were both locked down, we did a few Zooms and a few calls, had a bit of chat. And I was talking to Robert about the one-day workshop, and he said, George, I really like your style, I like what you do, you really know your stuff, I want to do this with you. And I said, Robert, I'm so honored, I'd love that, it'd be fantastic. And, Robert Kiyosaki, we've been talking about it and getting ready, and we've done this stuff, and the guy is a genius.
Look, he's really a living legend.
Number one.
He's a living legend.
His book is the number one bestseller in the world for creating wealth.
Correct.
Not only that, but he's still relevant today. Even though he wrote that in the 90s, he is relevant. And we were speaking about, the difference between an outside investor and inside investor. And he's even got so many amazing distinctions, right? And he reckons now, the cash flow quadrant and you got the investor quadrant, but he said, look, the most important thing is you got a choice. You can become a retail investor, right? Or you can become an inside investor. And in some things, being an inside investor is not good. So, for example, if you do that in shares, you end up in jail.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So Wall Street, he ended up in jail for being an inside investor.
Jordan Belfort,
Look, I had lunch with Jordan Belfort. Jordan Belfort and I had lunch and had a good chat about that. And it's fascinating because he said, mate, I should have been in property like you because you can't get in trouble for being an inside investor in property.
That's right.
It's completely legal to be an inside investor. So
fantastic.
Mind blown. So think about this. In the share market, you're an inside investor, you end up in jail. In the property market, you're an inside investor, you become rich.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, hey?
It's great.
Exactly. And so
I think we chose the right industry.
Yes. Well, the outside investors, the retail investors, what they do is they go to real estate porn, right? Like, realestate.com and Domain. But the inside investors, what they do is they end up becoming part of a buyer's group and they buy direct from developers. And we're very fortunate. We've got such a big group that we're one of the biggest groups in Australia. But not only that, we've probably got the best reputation. And because of that, if any new properties come available, we get the first pick. I don't know if anyone's seen the commercials about John West and how he rejects those fish. That's what we do. Any properties that come any other place, that's the ones we didn't like.
Absolutely. It's true, though. It is true. Because we need to make sure you get the right properties for our members so they get the leverage that they can keep doing this year after year. Very important.
Exactly. And you know what? Being part of a buyer's group is really good because we all win.
That's right.
I love
as well
it.
as one of the
We've got a lot more
biggest
leverage.
buyers groups.
Exactly.
One of the biggest buyers groups, which is what it's all about.
That's right, exactly. We may not be the biggest, but we're the best. That's all that matters, because we're the
Ah.
relationships, and it's all about relationships. That's the important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's it, guys. And I'd love to see you guys next year. But next Thursday, before New Year's, I'm going to go through some goal setting with you guys and really, try to help you guys get to the next level, because I really think doing some goal setting will be very important.
And look, we've kind of run out of the
day.
Yeah, we've run out of we've only got about 10 minutes left, but maybe we can say that we can do the prizes for next year as a New Year scenario.
We're going to do next week, next Thursday night.
So we're going to be on Restream. We're going to be through all of our avenues, live and loud.
That's right. Exactly. That's what we're going to do.
That sounds great.
It's going to be great. Yes, you're right. We've only got 7 minutes to go. So
that's right. So is there any more questions out there, guys?
Robert Kiyosaki's amazing. Have you read his book called Sales Dog? No, I haven't. I went to his today's seminar some 20 years ago, but incredible experience. Wow, that would have been good. Pete Atkins, the biggest problem you were caught. Yes, about Wall Street. He did. But look, the good thing is, what I respect about the Wolf of Wall Street is one thing. He admits he did the wrong thing, apologizes, and now is doing the right thing. And you know what? People will make mistakes. And I think at the end of the day, as long as they admit the mistakes publicly, as long as they do restitution and give back, I think it's okay to forgive. But I think, those people out there that, do something wrong and then go, oh, it wasn't me, I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. They're a bunch of a-holes, right? I don't
just
like
don't
like that. I can only respect them. Exactly.
So
that's right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. He did his time. And he is trying to give back, and he's doing a lot of training sessions and training.
Well, I don't mind if someone makes a mistake and they admit it and they fix it. That's the important thing. But if you're not going to admit it, you're not going to fix it, you're not really got the right authenticity. Because I think it's human to make mistakes.
Yes.
You've got to admit them, you've got to learn from them, and you've got to try to avoid it. Because in primary school, in school in general, I mean, we're taught don't make mistakes. If you make a mistake, you're an idiot. And people have this negative self-talk about making mistakes. Now, the deal is you can only learn from experience, right? And there's two experiences you can have. You get something right or you get it wrong. And those two experiences you actually learn from. So sometimes you have to make a mistake to learn. And the problem is most people are afraid to make a mistake. And that's one of the reasons a lot of people don't invest in property. A lot of people say to me, they're like, George, what if I make a mistake? And I go, well, if you make a mistake, it's going to happen. It can happen. Because a lot of people, this is the one interesting thing. People go, George, can you tell me this is 100% safe? I say, no, I can't.
Yep, that's right.
If I said it was 100% safe, I would be lying to you. And I could not do that, right? I can't be my authentic self and go, oh, yeah, property's 100% safe. Nothing's 100% safe. Walking across the street is not. I can't even say walking across your street is 100% safe because you might walk across the street and die. Yes? No? What do you reckon?
Yes.
The fact of it is, you can invest in property. You can invest in gold. You can put your money in the bank and you can lose it. You can put it on your mattress and lose it. Nothing is 100% safe. Right?
Yes.
I know property. I mean, have you heard about safe as Bitcoin? Or safe as shit? But what do they say? They say safe as houses. I mean, there's a reason they say safe as houses because it's one of the safer investments, a lot safer. 90% of self-made millionaires made it through property. It's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And the fact of it is, I've made lots of money out of property. All our members have made lots of money out of property.
That's right.
Anne Jones says, can you help me buying property in SMSF? And what you need to do is talk to one of our people. Stacey will send you a private message and have a chat to you and see if she can help you. Maybe you can book in for a wealth. You can help with something. Yep. But the fact of it is, life is risky. Everything's risky. But, if you try to stay too safe in life, then you don't play the game at full. And if you try to stay too safe, one day you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to be thinking, I didn't try to do anything. What's the point? You know, I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. Now, I'd rather try and win than try and fail as well. And because, you know, because I've made mistakes in investing, because I've helped a lot of people invest and I've seen lots of deals happen, I can actually, you know, I'm pretty good at getting it right. Really good. You know, I've helped hundreds of people do this. It's not just me that I've done it. I've helped hundreds of people do this. And because of that, I get it right a lot more than someone else that hasn't had the experience that I've got. So I've got a lot of experience, you know, heaps, because not only for myself, but I've built hundreds of property portfolios. So you can imagine how much experience I've got.
Correct. And you have been doing this for a long time as well. You've got that behind you.
Yeah. I've been doing this since the 90s. Like, God, what year is it now? Makes me sound old.
Does, doesn't it? But, you know.
I know, but they say the new 50s and new 40s, so it's okay.
Doesn't matter.
You know? That's
right. Absolutely.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I've been doing it for a long time. And the fact of it is, like, you know, experience. And, you know, there's two ways of getting experience. You can go there and do the hard yards and make the mistakes yourself, or you can learn from someone else's mistakes. What do you think's better? Other people's mistakes, other people's money, much better. And that's the reason.
So let someone else trip up and learn from them.
Look, there's a reason I hang out with people like Robert Kiyosaki, Mark Boris, Anthony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Richard Branson, because they've got the runs on the board. They walk their walk. They've created success. And then I can learn from their successes, from their failures, instead of doing it myself. And I've learned so much. I'm very grateful. Like, it's amazing, especially lately, because we get ready for this one-day workshop. Robert and I have been communicating a lot, and it's been amazing. Robert Kiyosaki seriously is, you know, even smarter than I thought he was since I've been talking to him lately. Like, brilliant. You know, so, you know, a lot of people said, "Oh, Rob's over the hill," all that sort of stuff. He's not at all. He's sharp.
Not at all.
The guy has got his. No, the guy is a genius. He really is smart.
The thing is, the guy was building a massive portfolio back then. Imagine what it's like now. He's got his finger on the pulse. It's not like he just gives up property tomorrow. Property's a long-term game.
Yeah. Oh, look, he never has to work a day in his life. He's doing this workshop because he loves it. He loves doing this. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to do it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's the fact. It's pretty cool. And you know what? It's really good to be in a position where you can love to do something and do it.
That's it. That's where we all want to be, isn't it? Enjoy, you know, when you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life, really. That's what it comes down to.
That's right. You've got to find your passion. You've got to find your purpose. Because your purpose is more important than your passion, because your purpose will bring out your passion.
That's it. Absolutely. So, look, we've got 1 minute. We've got our members. So we're sorry to say we're going to love you and leave you, but we're going to go on to our members. We've got a live with all of our members.
We're not going to leave you, just temporarily. We'll be back.
I know. Just go to our next thing. But guess what? Same bat time, same bat channel. But next time, George is going to show videos. He's going to release a little snippet of the Robert Kiyosaki, the Wealth Workshop. It's going to be amazing.
And I'm going to get my team to post a Christmas video tonight.
And the other thing also is you're going to be some prizes next week, because we're going to be on all of our streams. And we're going to do some goal set.
Pendo pads.
Say that again?
We're giving away Pendo pads. We're giving away some Pendo pads.
Great.
There you go.
Excellent.
So what I want to do is before we leave, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. You know, guys, 2021 was a tough year for many people, right? And the fact of it is, it wasn't easy for a lot of people, and a lot of people were locked down. Some people lost their jobs. It was a very tough year. If you made it this far already, you know, you should give yourself a pat on the back. Well done, because you've done well. And 2022 is going to be much better. We've got some amazing things happening in 2022. We're going to be sharing a lot of good stuff and little gold with you guys and really help you guys to get to the next level. So have a great Christmas. I hope it fills you with joy, laughter, and happiness. And look forward to seeing you next week after your Christmas. get you ready for 2022. Get your goals ready, because 2022 is going to be a big year. Peace. Love you all. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you for listening. I'm grateful for all our listeners around the world. If you found this podcast valuable, please share with someone that might find this useful, and please join our tribe of purpose-driven investors, increasing income and impact in our Facebook group, Positive Property. Please note, with a multi-million-dollar property portfolio and a passive income, I've become incredibly successful in investing in property. The fact of it is, however, many people may find investing in property challenging. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of hard work. However, becoming educated to make an informed decision and having the right advisors gives you the tools you need to succeed. The most important part of this formula, however, is to actually take action and apply that knowledge. It is important to understand the information I share is of a general nature only and is not taking into account your unique circumstances. If you're considering investing in any asset class, you need to seek the advice of an independent professional advisor who will be able to look at your specific situation. Be sure your advisor has actually achieved the kind of results you're seeking. Many won't have, so beware. We've taken great care putting those educational resources together. We'd be surprised if you didn't find any errors or omissions. If you do, our legal team says we have to say we're not responsible for those. In fact, as with all things, even your success, we're not responsible. That responsibility always has and always will come down to you and the actions you take. We're passionate about supporting you in that process and helping you increase your ability to create wealth, live the life you desire, and provide all the things you dream of for you and your family.